Oh, what a way to start the stream. Sorry about that. I opened the mic as I was coughing. Morning. Guys, as you can see, I'm a bit late. I had a wonderful lie-in this morning, and I eventually opened my eyes like 25 minutes ago, plus minus. So I've been rushing to set up the stream and all those things. But good morning, Kies and Piotr there on stream, and Uncle John, Peter, and Paul. Ooh, biblical. It's biblical here this morning. Good morning, guys. Welcome. Hello, Jet Power. I'm a bit confused. This is the latest 8A public, right? And, you know, on top of being, you know, still half asleep, I find myself in a situation where my ground services is not working. So, what do you mean still no pushback, Piotr? I don't know. Don't know what you mean. Anyway, the fact of the matter is that I don't know if it was a setting that changed or what happened. I don't know. And the silly thing I did was I upgraded the Zebo, the one with Linda in it, just before the stream. So I'm not sure if there's a problem with 8A and ground services now. I'm confused. I'm literally confused. Oh, still not public. Is that what you meant? You see, that stupid heart is in my way. I can't read all the text there. Sorry, Piotr. No, doesn't look like it's been released yet. So, I'm 100% not sure what on earth could be the reason why ground services doesn't work. I did find some of my settings was not the same, so it could be that Zibo, when he gave it to us, he changed something. It could also be that he disabled it in this test version. But then again, Uncle John says his is working, so I don't know. I'm confused. Hello, Rob. Yeah, I got up, Piotr. Took me a second. Jean-Pierre, this heart thing that's on the screen here, it hides text, man. It's stupid, and there's no way to disable it. I don't know why on earth these people would put that on the chat side of things. So I'm just quickly reading here through my setup, see if I spot something obvious. I can't see what you're saying. Jean-Pierre, put a full stop and press enter. Just make another chat so it moves up so I can see. FB, that's done. There you go. Stupid but lovely heart. Yeah. Where do you see that? I know this thing, but it wasn't here. Oh goodness. Yoke input advanced. Okay, hold on. Let me stream here. You see, I'm still half asleep. I know what it is. I just can't tell you because my brain's not there. It's just I'm waking up. I think it's gonna be the easiest to just read the EFP guide, Paul, just to wake the noggin up. Give me a couple of minutes. I'll go find the guide and then I'll read it. I can't remember. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't. Blah. Morning, Neil. Morning, morning. No, they need to change after last night. I'll do that later today. Yeah, well, I don't see a problem. But when I now go to my airside services, there's my OFP, it's loaded, but it's grayed out. I can't click on activate. And I don't know why. Hello, Gilbert. I'm kind of upset now because I don't know. But I tell you what we'll do. Right? Just get going. Let's just use the old style of doing things. And we'll be happy. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy. He's not working either. The truck's not coming. I don't know. Listen. I screwed this thing up. That's all I can think. Let me just quickly make myself a new Zibo. Because this is going to kill me. Zibo. Morning, George. Yeah, skip. Means there is one somewhere floating around here. I don't see it. Let's do it that way. Move. It's a bit faster. Right, so that's the one coming from Zebo. What do you mean nothing happens? I mean, it's not going to call the ground services for you. So you still have to call your own ground services and all. It's just playing a pageant in the background. So I'm not sure what you're expecting to happen. I still cannot see that other Zebo mod, so I don't know whether it will be that one there. But anyway, let's quickly see. I think I know what this one is. That's Linda back in place. You know what? I've been threatening to do this for a long time. Let's do this. Morning, Jacob. George, a couple of things on my Zebo just doesn't work. Ground services to load the payload and things, what they call the fuel truck was the last one. So just a couple of things just went completely weird. So in order for me to fix it, I'm busy just quickly building a new Zebo because something is definitely amiss here. Something's weird. Can't really fly with a broken aircraft, so might as well make a new one. Right, now the other thing that I'm looking for, my X camera setting. George, I'm on the latest non-beta 8a, and so anyway, I'm gonna try it, get it going. I think that's about the story, and also just drag this to another screen. Let's go try it. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to put the latest Zebo in. Then we just. Oh, wait. Let's just do it slowly because maybe it's 8A. And I can tell Zebo. So let's go set it up, get it going, and then we will know. Thanks, Jacob. Yes, I don't know things like that, but it's cool. You see, George, the joys of being a test pilot. Anyway, we are here. We're just doing our thing. Girona, number 1. Let's see. Thanks, George. Thanks for the info, Jacob. See, Zebo's got a CFY throttle, and he would know more about things like that, you know, and obviously has contacts about all these other stuff, but I don't, so I'm at a bit of a loss when it comes to the motorized. All he said to me, like I've put in the Zebo install guide and that I conveyed last night, is the guys with motorized throttles must just have those two settings off, to the off position. If it's off, it won't interfere.
flight deck hose is connected and starting refueling.
You've gone quiet, Snako, I think.
Yeah, sorry, I muted my mic. Piotr, same version as last night, no changes. Morning wake diff, morning non-stop. I grabbed a handful of cookies, sitting and chewing them in the background here. That's why I mute the mic. And morning, George. No, I wish I could get a sugar rush right now. I'm just trying to wake up proper, and now I've got to face this nonsense, you know, with the system not working. Oh joy, first thing in the morning. Right, okay, so let's go try. You see, there was a problem with that previous installation. Now, you see, this is actually bringing up a very interesting thing. I wonder how many of the people that have issues with the Zibo just don't sit with a bad install, you know. You see how quickly I just fixed it. I just said, stuff it, deleted the thing, just reinstalled it. So there's a good tip for you guys. If you ever have weird issues with the Zibo, just move it to your desktop like I did. You saw there. Make a new one. Scavenge what you need, your liveries, your views, and that's it. You know, there you go. There we've got a new aircraft, fully functioning.
Hello, Cap. Nice to see you again.
Good morning,
Don't
Linda.
forget to start the A cars.
Yeah,
There we
Nico.
go. Yeah.
I am ready for electrical power up
You're short of
procedure.
things to do, and I'm not trying to find you work or anything. But it
But
crossed my mind that there's sometimes maintenance required, isn't there, on
yeah,
some of the files? You know,
yeah.
I couldn't make a list myself if you asked me to, but you know, sometimes it's delete this cache or make sure your C++ stuff is up to date, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it worth considering, you know, when you've got a spare 5 minutes, doing a 10-minute
Yes.
how to polish your Zebo kind
Absolutely.
of video, perhaps?
No, absolutely, absolutely. I think we need to do that. That's a good one, Paul. That's a good idea because you're right. Every now and then, I mean, the Visual C++ updates continuously. Okay, through the year. I'm not sure how many, if there's 4 or 6 or 8 updates, but it does happen periodically, right? And that definitely needs to happen. And look, in general, I think most
Speech
people,
engine restart.
most people do the well, I don't want to say most people because now I might be talking nonsense, but a lot of people know that when we release a full new version, you need to basically start over. So you move your old folder, you put the new one in. You know, that's one way to service it. That way you get rid of any build-up fluff and nonsense that could potentially, you know, be a problem in the new version of Zibo. Okay, but I know a lot of people are too lazy. You know, they just throw it in and they take their chance. You know, but you know, that's option number one, and that is good to do. But then you get a day like today. All I did was I opened the update, I dropped it into the old Zebo, and it broke it. And there's no rhyme or reason why. There's no technical, theoretical, practical way of describing it. It just happened. And I mean, if it happens, what's your options? You've got a couple of options. You're going to cry about it. You're going to run to the forum. You're going to, you know, be angry about it, or what? The easiest solution is to just delete the Zebo and you make a new one. It's a 5-minute job and it's done. There, everything's working, you know. Just as long as you have your scavenge model, and you know, if you can go back and grab your liveries, and like I did, you know, go grab your files for Linda and for the X camera, you're done with it, you know. And at that point in time, you literally press the delete button, you kill whatever is left on your desktop, and happiness is, you know, everything just works again, you know. So that's a good tip, actually. And now you guys see it even happens to me. I'm not immune to it. Even happened to me now. You see, now everything is working.
It seems like it's the quicker, easier, and less stressful way of trying to fix the problem before going to all the lengths of, as you say, posting everywhere and
troubleshooting. You know, I mean, a troubleshooting incident can take hours or days to try and figure out. And the short answer was just delete it, nuke it, you know, start over. You know, 5 minutes later, you'll be flying. And you know, if it still persists, obviously there could be a bigger issue.
Yeah, what's your angle on dating drivers and things like that? Because for me, I don't touch it until it breaks. So my graphics drivers and whatever could be way behind. And I don't usually go looking for updates to my plugins either until something goes wonky. And, you know, it doesn't seem to be much of a problem for me, but other people swear by keeping everything absolutely up to date. What do you think about that?
Well, I prefer to keep things up to date. When I get a notice that there's a plugin update, I'll show you what I do actually. Just
wait, I don't get notices. What's going on?
I would typically get a notice via the grapevine. You know, thousands and thousands of people. Somewhere, someone would send me a note, or I see a post on their timeline somewhere on one of their social media stuff. You know, so via the grapevine, I get this notification. There's an update. Okay. Strangely enough, terrain radar. I don't know how I did it and if I did it or how that works, but all the stuff that happens on terrain radar's forum gets emailed to me. I just receive an email, you know, and then I go watch. I also get the notification when I log into the Zebo forum, and then I see their stuff from Volko or whatever, you know. So terrain radar, somehow it latched onto me, okay. But the other stuff comes from the grapevine. Then I go and check it. But this is what I do. Let me just get to my folder. I'll show you what I do, because I'm skeptical. I don't just accept anything, and then also I want to be able to roll back. So in my explain, let me share it with you guys here in Discord as well. So in my explain plugins folder, there's the old beta pushback, there's the old ground handling, old XRAS, old Jans, okay? So what I typically do is, now that thing, once it tells me there's an update, I will literally go and create a zip file right there. There it is. So that's my backup. Then I put the new one in place. If it doesn't work, or if it crashes my explain, you highlight it, you press the garbage bin there, delete it, you extract that one back in place, and you wait for the next update. See, so I've got a bit of a safeguard that I've built up for myself.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't just trust anything, you know, and
that's a good tip.
yeah.
I mean, from my point of view, I mean, I'm not the best IT guy, and part of it is the fear of breaking it. If it works, I tend to hang on to what works, you know. But that's a good tip.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what interacts with what. You could update one thing and it breaks something
another
else.
thing. Exactly. And the only way to safeguard you is to keep a copy of the old file. Okay. Now, on my system now, you can see I've got 2 backups of the Zebo. All right. So this one, if I look through it, it looks like I've scavenged it properly. There's nothing of mine left in here. You know, so I'm happy. It's all in the new one that we just created. Let's just check. There's Linda, but we clearly have Linda sitting there next to us. So that's now an old redundant one. So I'm happy. I just highlight it and I delete it. You know, I can't remember off the bat now what this one was about. So let me just look through it, see if there's nothing that might go tata bye bye, and then I just delete this one too. Yeah, this is where I got my liveries from. So, see, this is an empty shell as well. So, bye bye, there it goes. You know, and that's one way to just protect myself. Yeah. So,
good info, thanks.
Yeah, no worries. Hope you guys on stream liked it as well. Let me just answer Patch here quickly. Okay. He's asking me. You can read it in the private dev room. Just wanted to answer him. Okay, so let's continue. Let's start up here. Yeah, a lot of things have now thrown me a bit off. So apologies to everybody there, but I hope what
Captain,
you saw
we are freezing in the cabin.
Gave you something to think about. So let's go online. I don't think anybody's left at this airport. Everybody's gone already.
This was a good lesson for all of us.
Good. Yeah, strange. Comes and bites me at number 99. I'm glad it's a good lesson, Tommy. What am I looking for? I am looking for Avaya. I think I forgot my 10 in place. Yes, I did. Damn it. There we go. There's my flight plan. It's married up now. Yeah. So while we are here, let's get this ASU going. What is the temperature? Oh, it is only 1 degree.
Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross check and all call, thank you.
Alright, so that thing's blowing. It should do its trick. You know what, Jacob, it's not, unfortunately it's not something I or anybody else who tells you to go read the guide can control. We cannot control your emotions, right? But listen to this, right? Let's say there's 50,000 Zebo users. How long do you think it's going to last before I just lose it and start screaming at people when everybody wants me to retype the manual every time they ask me a question that was already answered in the guide? You understand? If you think about it logically, okay, I mean, I'm in the thick of things with the Zibo support. I have to answer to every single person, and the worst of it all is Facebook, because on Facebook, nobody scrolls down. It's like Discord. Nobody scrolls up here, okay? I might have answered the question, two questions before the next person's question, but they demand their own answer. So what's easier? I've got a job, I've got a family, I've got a life of my own, I'm busy with the project, I spent hours and hours reading, and I mean, at some point in time, you should also understand that I get bloody tired and offended when people don't want to just read the guide. You understand? So, yeah, the moment people start asking me repetitive questions and stuff, and I know it's in the guide, I mean, on the forum, I've done it a few times because it's semi-private. I don't like doing it in public. But I've called out a couple of guys that have lied about it, you know. No, it won't. It will not, Jacob, which shows me you didn't read the install guide. There's too much that you, as the user, still need to do. And the point of the install guide is to guide you through what you must do. Okay, if you install the install guide for the physical installation says this. Okay, it literally works like this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to shock you. This is the install guide. It's 3 steps. The first step is you open the first folder, you drag and drop it into your aircraft folder. Okay, so that's step number 1. And now I'm not showing you. Can you believe it? There. Anyway, that's step number 1. You go to your full, you open it, you drag and drop it. That's step number 1. This is the install guide, right? There it is. So that folder goes into your X-Plane aircraft folder. Step number 2 is you open the latest fix and you drop the fix. That's it. Okay, 2 steps. How long did it take? 30 seconds? You see, it took me 30 seconds to do the installation. If you get the installer that is available on our Discord, that was lovingly written by Alex, this is what it's going to do for you. It's not going to copy your liveries across unless there are liveries already available. It's not going to copy your views across unless there are views available. Those are things that you need to do. It is not going to set up the controllers for you. It's not going to set up the settings in the EFB for you. So it's a fallacy. It's actually a fairy tale to think an installer will fix it for you. It doesn't happen. Even if you get another aircraft, you as the user, when you go to the install guide, okay, that thing is like 40 pages. I can't remember the exact number, but it's between 30 and 40 pages. Do you honestly think I can fit something that I did in 30 seconds in 30 or 40 pages? It's not what it's about. It's about helping you over every hurdle to install it correctly, to calibrate your controllers in X-Plane, to calibrate your controllers in the Zebo. You understand? And once you read the install guide and you have the understanding of what it is we're trying to tell you, you're going to ask more intelligent questions. You're going to ask less dumb questions. You are going to be able to talk to us on a level where we're going to be able to help you so much faster. Okay, so when I ask you to read the guide, it's not because I'm lazy. God knows that's the last thing on earth I am. It's not because I'm nasty. Okay, it's not because I'm facetious. It's not because I've got nothing better to do than to work on your... Yeah, I almost said something bad. To work on your nerves. Okay, I ask you because I'm more than likely lying on the floor behind the desk working on a bloody computer that doesn't want to print because the lady kicked, that was cleaning, kicked the printer cable, the USB cable out at the back. So I'm lying there on the floor, I'm doing my job in the real world, or I'm sitting and working on a server in the server room somewhere. You ask me a question, I'm not at my PC, I'm on my mobile phone. So my answer is, go read the install guide. It comes down to this. This is the principle. If you teach somebody to fish, they've got food for life. And that's what we're trying to do. Go read the guide, because then you will know why not all those other things. If I keep on feeding you, you're going to keep on abusing me, and you're going to come and suck me dry. You understand? There's so much I can do before I can't do anything more for you. Okay? In reality, for me to learn to fly this aircraft has taken years. I still learn every day. And there's no reason why I should shortcut the learning process for you or for anybody else that is serious about the aircraft. If you look at the settings here in this machine, you can set in this little bit of information available to you. You can set this aircraft to represent any NG from 1995 or 1996 up until 2024. Anyone. You can set it up, because we can go back before NPS, we can go back before VNAV Alt, we can go back right to the beginning, or we can have features that's available in U14.1 in the real aircraft right now. There is no ways me or Richard, who wrote the EFB guide, can go and copy and paste. I mean, for instance, sorry, we're going off on a total tangent here, right? But imagine this. Right, I'm sitting in the server room. I'm working on a R500,000 worth of server. It's doing something funny. Now I need to concentrate. Now somebody asks me, how do you start airside services? I don't have the EFB guide with me. I can't recall exactly which button to press. So now I say, yes, you know what, go get the EFB guide, go read it. And the guy comes back, he says to me, where in the EFB guide? I mean, that's a stupid question, but I get it. The people ask me those questions, right? So now my answer is, do you realize that in the time I go and Google it, download it, open it, go find it, you could have done the same? You understand? That is the reality of life. You know, sometimes you've got to help yourself. Now, the install guide that I wrote is 30 or 40 pages, because I take your hand. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. And then I give explanations why you need to do it, why you shouldn't do it. And that's how we learn. You understand? And it's not, I don't ask you to, go and, create a problem for yourself. Make coffee, go sit in the corner, read it. That's what it's all about. It's as easy as that. Dave, I have to stay calm. I tell you what, if I get upset, I'm going to make people nauseous for the project, and I can't do that. We love everybody, even old Jacob there. Me and Jacob come a long way, okay? And Jacob is turning out to be a really nice guy, but he's got a different way of doing it, Jacob. And if I had to get upset with him now, he's going to say, "Ach, no, well, I don't want anything to do with this project anymore." And I don't want to do that. I don't want to get upset with him. I don't want to get upset with Yanni and Sunny and Pity and whoever else comes my way. I used to get upset, but I can't. I just have to take it. Unfortunately, I have to take it. And Jacob knows, and I haven't read all your comments here now, Jacob. It's a bit much, but I'll read through it. If I have to, come back, we'll do something like that. So,
are you going to fly, Nico?
Oh shit, I don't know. It doesn't look like it. Let's see. Maybe.
We have a saying in the Netherlands about this, Nico.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, if you hired me yesterday, I would be your laborman today.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to quickly read through this while this thing is loading. If you speak to Alex, by the way, I see Christer, you made a comment there. If you speak to Alex about his Zibo installer, this easy Zibo that he wrote, okay, the installation code, I think he said, is 50 lines or 25 lines or 30 lines. It's minuscule. But the other 650 lines that he had to write was to prevent the idiots from installing it incorrectly, because there's checks and balances built into it. that will prevent you from updating the wrong version into the wrong version, for instance, you know. And that's what the install guide is about. The install guide is teaching you to recognize which version is the fix, which version is the full. Why do you need the one? Why do you need the other one? You know, where do you need to install it? It goes into your Explain Aircraft folder. That's the stuff you need to learn. It comes by studying, you know. Right. The chat's going hectic there. That installer can check every file. That's if they made it to actually do a checksum on the files. I don't know if the Zibo will do that anyway. That's it, Chronic. Yeah, the calibration and the stuff, the rest of the setup isn't done. Yeah, I just can't do everything. Ooh, and then it jumps. Wait, I want to go back. Exactly, Chronic. It's a lot of work for a 30-second job. Jacob, it's true that most things should be automated to a certain extent, but because of the level we operate, it's a problem. You know, some things you need to understand before you just press a button. Morning, Steve. Jacob, I see you say there, sorry if I make you upset. You don't. Honestly, I'm as calm as I can be here. The topic is one that I've come to accept. You know, people are different, and you know, we handle it as it comes. Okay, I've come to know you. I know you better now as well. You know, so I don't think I'm upset with you, and I don't think I will get upset with you. I think you and I have got a bit of an understanding going. You know, so that's not. Let's not go there. It's not a question of being upset. Honestly, it's a question of education. I'm trying to, you know, help yourself, kind of a thing. Thanks, Jacob. For everybody watching, I see there's 28 guys there watching. This is not the stream I had planned for today, but I'm glad you guys are interested in following and loving the stream. Yeah, Jean-Pierre, the lively art, yeah. I'm almost awake, George. Now I can feel the blood's pumping, man. Jacob, I've got a fair idea of what AI is going to do, and there's a lot of fear and trepidation that comes with it. Some of the stuff that I've seen is scary, so it's not just all good, unfortunately. Yeah, and you're welcome. And you're right, Christer. If you want to learn to fly this aircraft correctly, I've had guys tell me, oh, I learned it in 2 weeks. You know, and I sit and my mouth just opens and my jaw just drops. Like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. It doesn't work that way. The Zibo is a totally different ball game. It's not an Atari game anymore. It's this thing is serious. And if you really want to know how to fly this thing, you're gonna study. You're gonna study like hell. I mean, the FCOM is not 30 pages. The QRH is not just Mickey Mouse games. You know, there's so many things. Obviously, you can fly it as a flight simulator, as a game. You know, put in a couple of bits and pieces of information and press the next button, and then you go again. You can do that, but if you want to fly like we do, if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of things, you're going to read a lot, and you're going to study a lot, and you're going to go try a lot, and you're going to use trial and error, and you're going to come and ask questions. But like I already said, it's the moment you've read something and you've got more information already, we pick it up immediately when we speak to you, that you've done some homework, that you know a little bit more, you know.
You've got to remember, this is an ongoing project, so
Yeah.
things will change, and occasionally you have to do something. If the project was completely finished, then you wouldn't be changing things.
Yeah, exactly. So the learning curve is going to be there for a while. It's definitely going to be there. So, you know, if you're not up to reading and if you're not keen on reading, if you've got you know, some reading disability, you know, you're going to struggle, unfortunately, you know. But if you have a reading disability, okay, I'm just putting it out there. If you have a reading disability or you've got some form of autism or something and you still want to do it, rather come to Discord and come talk to us, but be open and honest about it. Because if you don't have to broadcast it there, you can tell it in confidence to us, okay? But don't, you know, let that become your problem. Guys, I finally got this thing in my Navigraph. I can actually see which departures and things I need to use. Can you believe it?
Are you likely to get airborne today?
I'm looking at the wrong side. Uncle John, I hope so. 23, yeah, we want.
Well, I'm about to land.
We will wait for you in the pub, Nico.
Okay, no, that's cool, that's cool. See, Christer, you're a shining example for the community. You're absolute shining. You just don't let yourself get put down. You just go for it. So that's actually marvelous. And we're going to use finals. I don't know how that happened. My autopilot command A was on. That's too strange. See, I'm talking too much. I didn't pay attention when it loaded in. I hope it was because I pressed the wrong button or something. Yeah, anyway, we'll find out. Okay, looks like that plan is working. You guys didn't have any issues with the flight plan or something I should know about, right?
Nope, not a thing.
Yeah, Jacob, you need to speak to Alex. Alex will tell you what the pitfalls was and this stuff. Remember, I'm not a programmer, so you can tell me anything there. I won't know any better. Yeah, I have a condition, probably just due to my background, where I mistrust and distrust too much. I won't even consider asking that chat thing to have a look at stuff. There's too many things that can go wrong. At the end of the day, it's just his opinion again. You know, so I'd rather ask the guy that's doing the job to, you know, answer a few questions than somebody who just guesses that he knows.
Ready for pre-flight procedure.
Amen. Ooh, okay. That's interesting. I'm also actually going to have to then push that way. Are we pushing the right way? I don't think so. We need to face downwards. Or is that how the taxiways are working? Yeah, it looks like it's got something to do
Other way.
with the taxiways.
We are pushing right.
Okay. No. I just needed to get the lay of the land here to see what's potting. It's a terrible pushback. Anyway.
Ground to flight deck. Plan acknowledged. Coming through the menu when you're ready.
Right, I'm not done setting up. I'm going to start my APU now. So whoever that pilot is, please go ahead. Feel free to go ahead and taxi the takeoff.
He has been there since I started.
It was me just pushing back, and I will start taxiing shortly.
No problem. Yeah, I'm going to be another 3 minutes at least, I suppose. Yeah, you see, that's where copyright and proprietary information and things come in as well. You know, and it's just right that, you know, stuff like that chat thing doesn't give out any, you know, proprietary secret information. See, at the end of the day, it comes back again to this whole principle of what we've been talking about. In principle, people work to create the information and they need to be remunerated. Now, if you just take the information and start sharing it, those guys aren't getting money again, you know. You know, there are scenarios like that as well that you need to take into consideration. Okay, 36.
Trim up.
Ground to flight deck. Tow is ready now.
Temperature went nice and up there. Before start procedure.
Before start procedure.
Okay, our doors and hatches are closed. Ready to go.
Before start procedure complete. Ready for before start checklist.
Which runway are you going to take off on?
Okay, now connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
19.
Why?
Starting pushback. Clear to start engines.
I'm just curious.
Well, just the most suitable one.
Okay. I'm just curious because I'm checking the weather. It's either or. There's nothing saying that I don't see an SOP that you have to use a specific one, so it's fine. Start number 2 engine.
Starting number 2 engine.
Jacob, it can't work like that. There has to be checks and balances, okay? Just as you are iffy about specifics about the Zibo mod performing certain things and you using your level D as your reference, right? There are other guys out there that will absolutely lose themselves if we overwrite or delete a single file. In all of the history of the Zibo mod, we've never removed a file, deleted a file. We've never done anything like that. We've always asked the user to go do it themselves. Because unfortunately, you get people that are totally mad when they find out that you basically hacked their system and deleted one of their files. So in the history of Zibo mod, we have never removed or deleted or even, just moved it out of the way. It doesn't happen. It's up to the user to do that. And if you now write a piece of software in the installer that says take file A, B, C and delete it, and somebody goes and looks at the code, the next thing they're going to do is they're going to go to the forum and Facebook, and in their absolute stupidity, they're going to say we're hacking your system. And then can you imagine? Then everybody's going to say, oh no, I don't want to use the Zibo. No, there's certain things that you learn as you become an adult. There's certain things that you do and certain things that you don't do, because the crybabies and the idiots, they'll kill you. And it's just one of those things you just sidestep. You just don't get involved there, because then you don't have to answer to anybody and you don't have to explain. So that's just the easiest way of doing it.
Okay, that's disconnected and being removed. See you on the right side. Have a safe flight.
Starter cutout.
Yeah, and Jacob, that's why the new installer, the latest installer, oh yeah, no, trust me, there's been quite a few guys that try to make installers. They run away very quickly. They start with a big huff and a puff, and they start to blow the house down, and a few weeks later they just disappear. They don't even answer your questions anymore. They just run away. So from all of the newer installers that are available, the Easy Zebo is currently the main one, and then there's a new one. The guy called it yet another Zebo installer or something like that. I can't even remember now. So we'll see. He's going to look at the Mac and the Linux side of things, where Easy Zebo is the Windows side of things. And in all instances, I think let's talk about Easy Zebo, the one I really know. It is required of the user to download his own zip files, and the installer then takes it further. That story about not wanting to pay for bandwidth and all, I mean, if you're willing to pay it, I'll give you my PayPal details. You can, put your €100 a month in there or whatever it is. I'm not sure what the bandwidth would cost, but it's prohibitively expensive. And this is a freeware project. We don't get paid. We get donations every now and then. We get a few bucks. It's not consistent. There's no ways we can invest in infrastructure unless somebody puts his money where his mouth is. Yeah, I've heard that one too. That's not the server room that's the problem. The code isn't that big. The bandwidth is the problem. It's always the bandwidth. That is why I contacted x-plane.to, because they have unlimited bandwidth for us. That's why I loaded there, and why I also only do the stable versions on there. It's just the cost implication is just prohibitively and expensive, and it's always the bandwidth. See, you need to read the guide. It's all in the guide. It's all there. It's literally given to you on a platter. Go read the guide. Right. Start number 1 engine.
Starting number 1
Have a
engine.
good flight, sir.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy this. Thank you so much. It's going to be lovely. What a stream. What a tangent we went on to today. My goodness. Jacob,
and 2.
at one point in time we were looking at the stats for that CDN, and the guy was showing us that sometimes they run like at 2 or 3 or 4 terabytes a month bandwidth. You know, that's just Zibo downloads. It was crazy at one point in time. You know, and that's where the big money was.
Starter cutout. Engine start procedure complete.
I don't know if it's really sensitive to ask about it. It's a question
Captain,
of
we are freezing in the cabin.
You might not like the answers, you know, because we've gone through them all. We know what happened in the past. We work on experience. Eh? We know what happened with all those installers. We know, got a good and clear understanding of the pressure that the poor provider is on. You know, I go and I do the torrents. It takes me 2 minutes to set up a torrent now. In the past it used to take me like 30 minutes, but I've also learned I've got better ways of doing it now. So it takes me about 2 minutes to set up the torrent, and that thing's also unlimited. You know, if you're looking for a solution like that, that's an easy solution. Before taxi procedure.
Before taxi procedure. Before taxi procedure complete. I am ready for before taxi checklist.
Okay, so no, we all like intelligence. I think half of the moaning of today was because of you know, people not utilizing their intelligence. You can make life so much easier for yourself if you just take 5 minutes and a cup of coffee and go read the document. I promise you, it's just so much easier. Right, I'm not even going to ask if you guys are ready, because if you are not ready by now, you'll never be ready. Let's go.
Taxi lights on. Ready for before taxi procedure. Flaps 5 set.
Yeah, I'm glad you're laughing about it. Yeah, I used the installer.
Take your seats, prepare for takeoff.
A few times, because I was, you know, supposed to beta test this thing, you know. And once it went into production, I also had to stop using it. You know, once I've given my reports and Matthias was happy, I was happy, and everybody was happy, you know. And he handled all the support on the thing, and I didn't have to worry about it. Yeah, the installer, Easy Zibo, is in the Discord. You guys can come find it here. You can have it. Speak to Alex. He does all the support there. It's his baby. He made it. Seems to be pretty cool. And then, like I said, there's the new one for the Mac and Linux guys, because Mac and Linux, that's a different ball game to install stuff. Before takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure.
That was a nice loading.
Good. Glad to hear that, sir.
By the time it's for takeoff, please.
Before takeoff procedure complete.
Right, yeah.
Ready for before takeoff checklist.
Yeah, there you go. There's Alex. You made it. Yes, you did. You did a stunning job, but anyway. The black and green one is for Mac and Linux. That's the new one. Jacob, look, do yourself a favor in Discord. On the left-hand side, go down to the bottom to the nice to have section. You'll see the easy Zibo there. That's the Windows one that you want. But look through it, and then you'll see the next one down is that, what did he call it? Yet another Zibo something. Let me just get it quickly. Yazoo. Y-A-Z-U. He called it Yazoo. That's the other one. We must remember that name. That's for Mac and Linux. So. Okay. Right. Girona traffic, Skymatix 001. We taking off runway 01. Sounded like a real captain there. In between.
Stabilized.
Morning, Alex. Oh, no problem.
Approaching 01.
Runway 01 confirm.
On runway 01.
Takeoff thrust set.
I hope that's about straight.
Throttle hold.
Something like that is better.
V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
Get up. Woo! Guys, we made it. We're in the air. I tell you what, never in my life. This has been a morning, huh?
Acceleration altitude.
Yeah, it's nice, Christer. I didn't even think about it right now. I've been thinking way too much about other stuff. But you're right. Especially in those low visibility takeoffs. Man, it makes a huge difference. I was listening to one of our pilots. Not all of our team pilots have got the HUDs in their aircraft, you know. Now you're talking guys with many thousands of hours of flying experience, etc., etc. And I mean, the one guy was telling us for him it's like a new toy now, because he's never had the opportunity. He's a captain and all, but he's never had the opportunity to use it in the real world. So he's now learning as well, and he's enjoying it. And it's nice to get feedback from the guys like that.
Flaps 1 set. Approaching transition. Flaps up and set. Transition altitude.
But Jacob, that assumption of yours there, or intuition of yours, remember that's based upon your brunner stuff. Eh? That's not based upon what we have. So you need to make sure when you speak to Brixter about it that you remind him you've got brunner. So maybe it's just in the brunner code. See what I'm saying? I don't find it too sensitive. It's just nice. I enjoy it. So this thing where we've got different controllers and different code governing different controllers, you mustn't leave that out of your mind when you think about it. I haven't measured it. I'm going to lie to you. I'll give you a figure now. I'll have to measure it specifically for that question. I don't know. I have to go test it, Jacob. I mean, I pull on it. I obviously pull on it, but I don't know how many centimeters.
I've got 5 arrivals, Nico. There's yourself still to come. I believe there's another 2 after you.
2 after me? How do you get that? 2 more?
Well, I was having a look what's on the ground still.
Okay. Oh.
Could be wrong.
Where are you looking? On Ivea WebEye?
No, in ACARS, to be honest.
Okay, alright, because yeah, I'm looking in ACARS, there's nobody behind me there. So I think yours will update soon enough.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. I've just checked on there. This was another highway.
Correction, I've got 6 Skymatix landed.
just heard life downstairs, looks like. Sounds like people are waking up.
Passenger Escobar. This is in regards to a special meal. Would you please identify yourself to a flight attendant? Passenger Escobar, please.
I did, thank you very much. I wasn't awake much long afterwards. I just had to get my mind switched off and I was off to bed. I felt well accomplished last night. Richard, I see you all watching here. Listen. I think some of that information needs to go into your EFB guide. I don't think we're going to get away from it. You have to absolutely mention it as well. That's because it comes from the EFB guide. So my question really is, how do I get information to you? So what I'm going to do is either you can download my EFB guide and then copy and paste, or I can send the original to you. Dank je, Reiner. Just got a nice breakfast. Okay, so either you download it and copy and paste it, or I send you the raw information. But instead of referring the guys to my private hangar, I think you need to refer them to my forum page so they can download the install guide there. Okay, so if you heard that, you can just type yes into Discord, that's fine. Otherwise I'm going to retype everything for you. Alex, the mic is muted because I don't think you want to listen to me chew my bacon and eggs.
Well, Nico, I need to go, so I'm going to abandon you.
Okay, Paul, that's fine.
Happy landing, sir.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thousand to level off.
Jacob, the stream is running on Discord, yes? Power. Right, eventually I'm done. That was marvelous. Sorry for making some of you guys hungry on stream. It was nice. There's unfortunately not much to see here. You know, we're over the ocean. Lots of water. Right, so for the approach, I see we have a couple of altitude and speed restrictions. So check the translated so you can see here. There you go. Below. So there's couple. Okay. I think we've got all the speed restrictions down to minus. We've got speed restrictions. 10 and below. Confidence is high, we're gonna do this. See, Anthony's about to land, and Kies is there in the middle, and then it's me. I spend a lot of time in the ground today.
But you were telling interesting stories, so just matter.
Yeah.
That's why I was so busy listening to you that I just took off runway 19 instead of...
No problem.
Ready for descent procedure.
No problem. I was just curious, that's why I asked. Jacob, nothing. There's a whole lot of nothingness growing 6 feet tall down there on the water, right over the ocean, so we're not missing anything. Yes, while we're talking about this story of you listening and all, I watched the numbers on YouTube. I see that it was very constant. We lost one guy in the whole conversation. You know, one user dropped off according to my counter there. So, you know, I take it that it was a worthwhile conversation. You know, what you guys wouldn't have listened to that, you know, all the time if it wasn't, you know, if it didn't have any value. Hope it was okay.
Yes, certainly was. And between the lines, you're still learning.
Yeah. There's too much. You know, yesterday, Sasso came to visit us. And I'm not going to repeat the personal or sensitive stuff he told us. But in his capacity as a 737 instructor, okay, if you listen to what they do in the sim and what he requires them to know, Oh man, I don't know if I will make it. I'll probably make it. You know, I've got enough experience. But the stuff they do, yeah, we were sitting there, we were shaking our heads, man. It is incredible what the real pilots have to go through compared to what we do.
Amazing the knowledge he has.
Scotsman, enjoy your flight, buddy.
G'day guys, how we doing?
All good in your Artie?
Really well, I'm very happy actually. Tonight was the first time I pulled off a flight with you guys, and I just finished landing about 5 minutes ago, so I tried yesterday and it was a failure, but tonight I nailed it. Bloody beautiful.
Congratulations. May it be the first of thousands more.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I can't really do an auto land here. This is just Cat 1 ILS. But it's okay. It's called specializing, Jacob. It's called specializing. I've been in IT since 1993 after studying electronic engineering and electrical engineering and stuff, you know. And I must be honest with you, the IT environment has changed so much. I actually dislike it at this point in time. It's not what it used to be. It's different. But to answer your question, to latch on to what you just said there. Sorry, I know what I'm saying. It's impossible, we cannot know everything. Last week, Wednesday, I lost 6 hours because of a silly Microsoft update they pushed through overnight. And it took me 6 hours to realize it was this Microsoft update that was messing up all my customers. You have to deal with nonsense like that as well. It's just impossible to know everything. If there was a place you could go to and just do a quick search and it was over, and I promise you Google didn't work for 6 hours. It took 6 hours before I found the answer. It's crazy. You just don't know everything, man. Don't forget about it. There's always going to be somebody that knows more because of his experience or his training. So you can't know everything.
Don't you think you sort of get some sort of warning there's an update coming, and that way you go, well, hang on a minute, before I go down that road, I'll do some paving.
The issue with Windows updates, the way we do them is we used to have a specific server that would catch them. And I had a guy, I paid him, he was, you know, doing it as part of his job. He would sit and he would sift through all of it, you know. So we had specifics that we wanted, specific things we looked at and all. Now he passed away, he's not available anymore. Gone to heaven, you know. So
yeah,
at this point in time, what we do is we don't use the server. We decommission that server because I don't want to employ somebody like that again, you know. And so what happens is the systems get their own updates directly from Microsoft, okay. And then they had this silly BitLocker nonsense thing that came in, and it failed. And the first 2 machines were critical where it failed on. And then you go and search it. TechNet doesn't give you the answer. You don't get it anywhere. And I found it eventually via a third party. They had a write-up on it that warned everybody. Because in TechNet, what they say is it is a corruption in .NET that's causing it. Right? Wow. So I went and I reinstalled .NET on most of the machines, updated them, you know, worked through it. I used the dsym command, scanned the files, did a whole bunch of things. 6 hours later, I get this one article somebody published. Apparently, that BitLocker update fails because the partitions on your computer is not set up according to the rigid scheme they want it to be. Okay? And obviously my partitions are set up according to the best practices for the guys are using Windows 10. It's Windows 10 problem.
Yeah.
And there's no mention of BitLocker anywhere. It's set up according to Microsoft's recommendation. So now obviously somebody somewhere moved the goalpost. Somebody somewhere accepted the goalpost to be gospel, and now they're trying to force it on everybody. So at this point in time, my note just says, skip this update, it's broken. That's it.
Story. Wow. Very frustrating.
Yeah, it's going to take them a month or two to fix it again, and then they'll publish something that supersedes it. Takes away the rigidness about everything. So we'll see. It's painful, but if I knew everything, I wouldn't have wasted 6 hours.
No. And if you knew everything, Nico, you wouldn't be sitting here either.
Exactly. Uncle John?
Yes, sir.
Where did you see that?
I've just done it myself, and I've seen it happen before as well. But I'm not transmitting them.
Yeah, no, I understand. That's why I'm talking the way I'm talking. Uncle John, in which folder did you install your Zibo? Because that's just a broken installation.
The folder that we always put it into.
Okay,
Zibo folder.
I'll have to look specifically at how you do it or whatever.
Okay, I'll leave everything as it is, but when you finish, you can have a quick look.
Okay, yeah.
Cheers, bud.
Steve, you're right. Life is a journey, man. You must enjoy the ride while you're on it.
Touche to that one.
Yeah. Scotsman. Coffee. My tip of the day to you, sir, is get coffee. Jacob, that's not a bad thing. If you learn because of your stubbornness, do so. Learn. As long as you learn. That's the best thing. You're not streaming your screen, Uncle John?
Purposely.
Okay. Alright, then we'll do it afterwards.
Does that make sense? Purposely?
Yeah. It makes sense, 100%, don't worry about it. Rob, no, I haven't tried it today. Last night we spent a bit of time on it, and I did that late stream with you guys, but I haven't done an auto land again today. I woke up, literally, I opened my eyes, I think it was 20 minutes before 10 a.m. local time, so it was, what was it, 7:40 Zulu. I opened my eyes, and then I realized I'm in trouble, so I scheduled the stream for 10:15. And then we got off on the tangent and all the discussions we had. I think it was fun. I spoke sense. So I enjoyed it, and it took me forever to get in the air. And here we are, just chilling, relaxing. So I haven't done any auto land today. And the place we're going to doesn't have Cat 3, it's only got Cat 1.
So you are still in your pajamas?
No, I at least quickly got semi-dressed. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt now. I had to go wash up a little bit and try and wake myself up, but it was fast-paced, I promise you. And make coffee, and interim as well, and it's still standing here off drink next to me.
Good morning, Nico.
Good morning.
Oh, I drank my coffee today.
Good. Right, I better start setting up the rest. I'm sitting here relaxed as anything, and I haven't set up anything. Dial the dials. 233. Just now I make a mess again, and you say, this guy wants to teach us about the bug and he can't even fly it himself. I can already hear the comments. What an idiot.
I didn't know you were a mind reader.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big debate on the ProSim forum that you didn't do the correct procedure. So the whole discussion about the actual problem with simulation
it's got
disappeared.
Yeah, it's got.
Yeah. And that's I always disregard how you fly the plane. You should be able to fly the plane inverted. If the simulation is correct, the simulation is correct, the fuel will not come into the engines and the engines will stop or whatever. But it should be, yeah.
No, I know exactly what you mean. It's like, there's an engineering description, and if you comply with the engineering requirements, it should work. You know how many times I've used that argument on the auto mechanics here in South Africa? You take your car for a service and then it's just not right, and I say, what, did you follow the engineering specs? Did you tune it? Is the timing right? What did you do here? Anyway, I know, if the specs is right, it should work. Anyway, good morning, Fernando. Nice to see you on stream.
Anyway, I tested a little the descent rate of the aircraft, but as I was writing in some, I don't know where I wrote it, but there is some ballooning effect when at 40 to 30,000 feet. It went from 5,000 feet descent to 500, so it ballooned between those two values and in level change. And I talked with Austin Myers if there is a way I can save the data, the graphs and the data, because I made a Excel spreadsheet, or I think it was numbers or whatever, but some sort of program that I could track with different weights, different things, the descent rate to see if it matched at least the QRH. But there is a way, but I haven't really got that working yet. But in a perfect world, I will be able to plot all the numbers in a spreadsheet, and that will give me the exact descent rate at idle at a certain speed and a certain weight.
Well, if you get it right, come show me.
Anyway, as I was writing to you, I discovered how you can move the aircraft. You just press M and go to the push on the aircraft with the mouse.
Yeah, and you can slew it.
No. You just set the altitude and speed.
Yeah. That's right. Fernando, we fly group flights over the weekend, so you're also welcome to join us, by the way. So if you see us online, if you join us on Discord, you'll get all the flight plans and everything. You're more than welcome. Anybody can join us on these group flights. This is not a closed group, so just bear that in mind for future as well. Tommy, this way. Go to plugins, VERSO client, toggle plane label. You just have to make sure that little dot there is on. Easy as that.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, it's just awesome. you know, we've talked about all the things you can do and cannot do. I've got a saying here. I can perform miracles immediately. It's the impossible that takes a little bit longer. Okay, so if you ask
That's
me,
a good saying.
yeah. If you ask me, I'll give you an answer if I have it. Otherwise, we go find it. Okay.
That's right, Nico. Thank you very much.
I should start using that towards my wife.
Yeah. Miracles you do straight away. The impossible takes a little longer. That's all.
But as 20 years ago, I moved to Gothenburg, Sweden. It's a big city, 700,000 people, something like that. And my boss told, and we was on a building site. I was an electrician, and we was on a building site. And my boss, our boss, told us all, why is it taking so much time? Why? They have, for God's sake, they have gotten to the moon. And I was thinking to myself, I didn't answer, of course. I was thinking to myself, yeah, but they have a little different budget and a little different group of people.
Yeah.
So yes, everything is possible, but
the money.
It's a lot of effort. Yeah, the money. So when I was talking about the installer, for example, I mean,
light switches on.
Everything is possible. You can check every file, every byte of every file if it's correct and whatever. And do you want to replace that? And questions could come. You can do whatever you want, and it could be how complex you want. But it's the work to do that is probably much harder. And when some of the guys referred to that's not possible, that's not possible. Yeah, everything is possible, but with the standard installer program, I mean, there's installer programs that you can download that make an installer, that install the drivers in the right place and do that and do that. Yeah, with those programs, maybe that is not possible, but with the programs that are, you can make how advanced you want.
Of course, but look, you must remember this now. Everybody, including you as a user, every single person watching this video, forever and ever, everybody that flies the Zibo, we are all doing this for the love of it, right? It's our hobby.
Definitely.
The guys
I understand what you're going to get to.
Yeah, the guys who write the programs, it's their hobby. They do it for the love of it. They don't do it for the money. There's no money in it, okay? And you know, again, it comes down to the problem versus the budget kind of a thing. Exactly. It's a repeat of the same curse over and over and over again. And so, you know, we enjoy what we have, we enjoy what we do, and you know, if someone can make it better. Alex told me the other day, if somebody can make a better installer, he'll gladly step aside. You know, I said to him, I would hate to lose him in his position. He's been there for a while, he's done a great job. I mean, not looking to replace him. But the fact of the matter is there's so much time in a day and there's so much effort you can put in there. And like I said, maybe 50 lines is about installing the Zibo, and the other 650 lines in the program is about stopping the idiots from doing the thing wrong. You know, it's all the checks and balances. Are we upgrading? Are we downgrading? Are we putting it in the right folder? Is it the right version? You know, it's crazy. You know, my Zibo install guide started out, I think, as 3 pages. Okay, because I noticed that 30-second job that Zebo had, I think he describes it in 5 lines on the forum, right? And then I realized people don't understand what he's saying. As easy as it looks, people don't understand, and I started elaborating. Jacob, there was a time that I updated that install guide 5 times a day, because just when I thought somebody cannot misunderstand me anymore, 10 guys come around and they misunderstand and they misconstrue, and I have to go back, I have to change the wording, I have to make it more specific.
Remember the you were talking about the other program that make Google come into the simulator. What was the program's name?
Ortho for XP.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember that? Doesn't that have an installer?
It does, but the problem is what I've discovered is that I don't understand it and I don't have the time to go and learn it. Okay, so for me, it's easier to get the zip file. I unzip the file. Next time I want to update it, I just get the new zip file, I extract it and overwrite the old one. So for me, it's a manual process again. And trust me, of all the hundreds of people I've helped to get going with AutoOrtho, the quickest way to do it is to use the zip file, because then you've got full control. You don't have to worry about any registry entries or anything that goes wrong with an installer. We know where we put it, we know where we want it, we know how to do it. It's a 5-minute job compared to a 10-second job that could potentially take you hours to go and troubleshoot. You see, so
you know that was the argument for Mac users. I also have a Mac an old MacBook Pro from 2011 or something, but that was the main argument. Yeah, you don't have to install the programs, you just drag them into the programs folder, and if you want to delete them, you just drag them to the bin, and there's no registry or DLL files or things that could corrupt the system, and Windows gets slower when you install things. The more things you install, the slower it gets, and then you have to format it, and nowadays it's many years since I did that. Since I formatted the computer, and it's many years. At one time I did it once a week when Windows Millennium was a big thing.
Yeah, I remember those days. Right, okay, I just realized while we were talking I haven't done my frequencies. So frequencies, minima, courses, they all set up, fuel is okay, got the BFD set up, I think we're okay. We can go land now.
You see that this is very stable. No up and down. No up and down with speed, no up and down with the throttle, no up and down with vertical speed. It's very stable.
Yeah.
If the winds are stable, that is what you should expect.
Well, it's stable at 23 knots coming from 7 o'clock, so not bad. What I wanted to say just now is I love my Zibo, I promise you. I love this aircraft. You know? I've put so much, hundreds and thousands of hours into this thing already. It's part of me, man, and I love it. I just love this aircraft. The last couple of days was just challenging with this auto land problem. You know, and if it wasn't for the HUD being introduced, I don't think we would have spent half the time on the problem, because it's after the HUD came into being that we realized, you know, yeah, there's a big problem with AutoLand.
I still have the swaying back and forth where aileron, bank, blah blah, at the last, well, let's say 1,000 feet
of the landing.
I only have it in level up. And Zibo told me how to fix it. He said he'll fix it, so I need to also follow up on him. I actually think there was a new version of level up that came out the other day. I must actually check it as well again.
And that is the PID that I was talking about. Proportional, integral, whatever it was called. But PID settings.
Gotcha.
You must have read about that when you were learning electronics, PID?
I probably did. You're talking 1992. It's a long time ago. If you tell me to go do work in electronics now, I'm gonna laugh at you, because I'm gonna have to restudy everything. I never used it ever. Studied it, walked away, started in IT, never used electronics. The closest I got to using electronics, or electrics for that matter, was when I installed alarm systems and homes, because we had to actually use proper, you know, machine type programming and things like that. That was the closest I got, and you had to use, you know, circuit boards and resistors and all kinds of things to get the alarms, you know, compliant and things. That was the closest I got for maybe 2 years of my life. I've never ever used it proper.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a thing that when people are talking about they make a custom autopilot outside of the simulator. It's the same discussion in PMDG and ProSim and other simulations. They all do that. They all do that, and that is because they want more control, basically.
Yeah.
They want to have the logic correct, and they want to control how the plane is going to fly. But PID settings, you have that in all kinds of controlling of water, controlling of valves, controlling of motors. A lot of control. When you control things, you have PID settings, and you can even buy separate things that have 3 little potentiometers or set knobs where you can control the PID setting, PID settings, and those control so there isn't any ballooning, so the water gets too much water and too less water and too much water, and a frequency. It compensates for the frequency.
Yeah, your flow controls. I understand. I get it.
Yeah, and if when what is the guy that makes the flight model?
Twixter.
Every time Twixter makes a change to the flight model, of course, Zibo must go in and tune that PID settings for that flight model, and it could be different on different altitudes and different but the thing is, in calm weather, 15 degrees, QNH 10-13, it should be perfect.
It should be according to the tables. That's the whole story you're getting to. It should be like the tables, the Boeing tables.
Yeah, something like that. For example, I heard from my pilot friends, when the plane climbs, if you use level change, it will overshoot the speed a little. Not the altitude, but the speed. Yes. I heard, if I remember correctly. And the thing they do, they have the 3-2-1 rule. So 3,000 feet before they get to the desired altitude, they select vertical speed and set maximum 3,000 feet a minute. And 2,000 feet a minute and 1,000 feet a minute.
Sasso has told us about it many times. He loves using his vertical speed and to set things that way, so he's got the control over everything.
Approaching
we've
transition.
Discussed it a bit.
1,000 to level off.
And I was asking my pilot friend yesterday or a week ago, I don't remember, like a while back, but it was fairly close, and he told me that basically you could fly the aircraft as VNAV fly the aircraft with level change. So if the plane is going to reduce speed, you can press level change and reduce the speed by hand at the same point where VNAV is changing the speed, and the plane should fly basically the same as VNAV.
Yeah, but then you're just giving yourself a greater workload, but I guess it's possible. Why not?
Just to test the autopilot, if the autopilot behaves as it should, if the vertical speed is correct, if the ballooning is gone, if everything works as it should, this is a thing you can do. Gotcha. And if level change doesn't work, you can also use vertical speed, of course.
Morning, Steve. Yeah. Twixter has shown us a couple of the techniques he uses, and that's all his work. You know, he's got all these techniques that he uses to test. Anyway, I'm about to land.
Runway vacated.
Okay, thank you. I'm about to land now, so concentrate a little bit here.
The Royal Cockpit, I think.
Do you know what my pilot, one of my pilot friends did when I was flying with him? He said, "This is your headphones, and it's a sterile cockpit environment, so I will turn on your microphone."
Yeah, and then it goes.
Flaps 5 set.
Right.
But you know how it is. You're very humble when you get in a real cockpit. You're with real pilots working. You are really humble.
It's nice to see, Nico. All the guys are waiting just for us.
Aye, you guys are standing great. Thank you, everybody.
Apart from me.
What, did you go away already? Oh, of course you did. Of course you did.
I've already posted in the pilots group with a pic.
Cabin crew, take your seats, prepare for landing.
I also discovered that you see the speed change now. It's trying to change speed, vertical speed. In descent, it's a little too rapid, I think.
You see, I don't worry about things like that. That is Quickster and Zebo's problem, and they can see it on my screen. If they want to change it, then by all means they can change it.
Flaps 15 set.
1,000. 2,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Birch altitude set.
Flaps 25 set. Flaps 25 set. Flaps 25 set.
She gets stuck again.
Flaps 25 set. Flaps 25 set.
Okay, so I was asked
set.
if it happens again
Flaps
to
25
actually
approaching.
board.
Flaps 25 set. All commands and checklists aborted.
Okay, and then I need to
Flaps 25 set.
the log file.
All commands and
developer.
checklists aborted. All commands and checklists aborted. Flaps 25 set.
Ah, there's
My God, you're good.
Flaps 25 set. Flaps 25 set.
Approaching decision height.
I think she stopped now.
400.
Seems like it.
Minimums.
This was Dortland.
No, this is me. I'm coming in.
Thanks for that, Nico. That was a
200.
very nice tip
Oh, you're welcome.
about Linda, I mean.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Ah, 415 feet per minute, my backside.
Did you notice when you flared that the nose went up down little?
Feet remaining.
I did, but my greater concern now was to actually get the reverse thrust going, and I see my. I don't understand it. My auto brake also disconnected, so I don't know. This was not an auto land. This was just me landing. So
2,000 remaining.
that stupid 400 odd landing rate is completely wrong. It's just not possible.
I saw your video afterwards about the TQ settings and that. And as you know, I have the real Boeing 737 NG throttle. It's actually 1.5 meters from me now. It isn't interfaced, and I have a lot to work with cleaning and painting and some sheet metal work to do and a lot of things to do with it. But I have looked a lot in the manuals and talked with my pilot friends about how it actually works and how I should interface it. And basically, it is two motors with what do the gear type? What is the gear type called? When there is like a screw screw and a gear. What are that gear type called? Someone else know?
No idea. I'm not concentrating on that right now. Sorry. I'm trying to get off the runway and do my thing here. Sorry, Jacob. Yeah, it wasn't a bother now. But I don't know what he is referring to because my concentration isn't there, and so I'm thinking about just getting off the runway now. She's still stuck. She needs some other medication at work.
Your beer is getting warm.
Yeah, I'm on my way. See you guys.
Yeah, now I found it. Worm gear. It's called worm gear. There are 2 worm gear, each on each handle, and between the output shaft and the actual handle, there's a little bit different in the old throttle and the engine throttle. The engine throttle have a I will have to Google it again.
Well, welcome
Nico.
to
We are
Costa.
just waiting for the boss.
Absolutely, yeah, welcome. Thank you guys for waiting. I didn't expect that from you. I mean, this is one of those weirdest streams ever, so. Carl Childers also said, well, worm gear. Thank you, Carl. Welcome.
Yeah, anyway, it's a worm gear, and after the worm gear, it's 2 different things. One version is with a wire that goes up to the actual handle and moves the and between the output shaft of the worm gear and the strut or the wire, there is a slip clutch, and that makes it possible, and that is what's giving the resistance in the throttle handle, so that the pilot can always take the handle and just move it wherever he wants. But if the autopilot is in such a mode that it wants to control the throttle, it will put it back. So if you. But you can always override it with your hand. So if the autopilot is commanding X amount of N1, you could always overpower it with your hand. And if you move the throttle, the auto throttle can also disengage, I think, depending on where you are in the cycle.
Listen. Yeah. We can talk about this again later. I just want to do my parking. Neil, I didn't notice it. I think if I landed so hard, my guts would have been shaken a little bit more. But anyway, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. You say the ad never lies. I'll have to keep an eye on that. I'll watch it stream again. So anyway, we made it. Shutdown procedure.
Well done, Nico.
Oh, blooming heck. This is a fight and a half to get here, man.
Would you be so kind as to take a pic of that, Nico? I only got 5.
Yeah.
Nico, do you have some time after the stream?
A little bit, yes.
Maybe I can show you some things with the amount of elevator, what I was talking about.
You can show me, but it doesn't really have value for me because I don't work with it. You understand? So apart from just going and eyeing, I'm not going to really be of much value for you. So I don't mind. We can do that. Okay, Uncle John, I've taken some pictures for you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, especially that you waited for me. I do appreciate that, and thank you for flying with. This
No
was
problem.
nice.
Thanks for flying.
Thank you, Nico.
Thank you, Nico.
Yeah, thanks, Nico.
It was wonderful.
Thanks for putting it together. Well done.
Right, so everybody on stream, ladies and gents, we'll see you next time again. Hopefully I don't land at 400 feet a minute again and we don't Takes so long to get in the air, but you go have fun and we'll talk later. Carl, nice to see you again, buddy. Stay well, eh?
Thank you, Nico. Bye.
Bye.
See you all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.